All right, congratulations on completing your training show. I hope you are so excited that you are about to begin your journey as a brand new jeweler with Premier Designs. You finished that training show, you've got one down. Your next show that you're going to be doing on your own, and your Premier Mom will be coming with you to do that show to kind of watch and just be your second pair of hands. But in this video today, we're going to talk about how to close out your training show, as well as how to close out future jewelry shows that you have with any other hostesses. Now for your training show, you're going to sit down with your Premier Mom and you're going to close out this show together. So she's going to show you how to enter your orders, and she's going to show you where to enter your hostess free jewelry and all that good stuff. So she's going to walk you through doing that. But we're going to just talk a little bit about it today, just in case you have future jewelry shows you want to come back and you need a refresher. But so the first thing you're going to do with your Premier Mom at your training show, after you've collected all of your pre-orders, you've had your training show, all your guests have left, you are going to fill out your closing out your show form. It looks just like this. Yours might not be green, that's okay, but it looks just like this. It's called closing out your show, and you're going to fill this out with your Premier Mom the night after your training show so that you know how much free and half price jewelry you're going to get from your training show. And then you're going to fill out this form with all of your future hostesses as well. So that way they know how much free jewelry and half price jewelry they're going to get from their shows. So what you want to do is print out several copies of this. It's going to go in that document binder that we talked about in a previous training. So you want to have several of these that you take with you to your shows. Okay, now you want to fill, like I said, you want to fill this out with your hostess and leave it with her that night after her show. Okay, you don't want to leave the show without giving her this. Okay, so let's talk about how to fill out this form. Okay, so the first thing you're going to see at the top, it says, and you can print out this document if you want to kind of follow along with me. It's going to be under the video, but you can print it out and you can follow it along with me if you'd like. But the first section says your show sales without tax or shipping. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to collect all your customer order forms, okay, either the ones from your show or your pre-order order forms that your hostess has given you. Okay, so you're gonna look at this little red box right here. It says Jewelry Total A. Okay, now kind of to back up a little bit, one thing that's very important is when you're filling out your order form with your guests, if you offer them a promotion, maybe say Premier is offering a promotion where if they spend $75, they get any item up to $50 value for only $10. Okay, that's one that Premier offers sometimes. Or maybe you offered a promotion, for example, spend $75 and your next item is half price. Okay, so if there's any kind of promotion like that, you want to be sure to write the retail total in the column that says each, and over here in the total you're going to put what they actually paid. So whichever item was their $10 item, for example, you're going to put $10. Or whichever item was their half price item, you're going to put the half price value of that piece. So then when you total it up, you get that subtotal that's their actual total that they paid before shipping and tax. Now, when you're calculating the free jewelry for your hostesses, that is going to affect her free jewelry a little bit. However, what we found is that usually when you run a promotion like that, it's going to bump up your sales just a little bit higher so that you can go on and give that hostess even more free jewelry. Okay, so that's where you're going to look right there in that red box. You're going to total everything up, all of your order forms, all of your pre-order forms, and then you're going to write that number right here in that first space. Then, to calculate your hostess's free jewelry, you're going to multiply that number by 0.3, okay, to find the 30% in free, and that's what goes right there in that next space. And that is her free jewelry total. Now, she also gets those bonuses, okay, so right here it's how many bonuses did she earn, and is it $50 per bonus. Also, just a side note before I forget, with those customer promotions, if there's one that's from Premier, you can find those on the website on the home page, and you'll see them down at the bottom, little icons if there's a hostess promotion or if there's a customer promotion, so that's where you can find them. So right here, you're going to check off whichever bonuses that she earned. Okay, so the first one says $50 for holding your show on the original date and $100 in advanced orders. Now this is really important. If your hostess does not keep her original date, or she does not have $100 in orders before the show, before shipping and tax, then she does not get that bonus. Now that also includes any promotions as well. So let's say your hostess collects an order during one order and it spends $75 and gets your next item for $10. Okay? Well, maybe she spent $75 and then that next piece was a $30 item. So that would have put her over $100. But since she's only getting it for $10, that makes her total before her show $85. So again, it's this number right here. That final total is what you use to determine whether or not she got that bonus as well. Okay, also if she had 3 shows scheduled, you can also give her that bonus. It's very, very important that we only give those bonuses if the hostesses truly earned them. Okay, so then you're going to add up how much of the bonuses she got. If there's a promotion that Premier's offering, sometimes they'll do one where you get double bonus gift cards. So you can just kind of make a note over on the side that those gift cards are actually worth $100. Again, it's very important to check the website for all the details of those promotions. You don't want to give your hostess a promotion if she didn't truly earn it, because then you're going to be paying for that out of pocket. Okay, so you want to make sure you pay attention to that. Then right here in this space, you're going to write the total free jewelry that she earned from her show. And then down here you can calculate how many half price items she earned as well, and you can write that. So it gives you the chart and the breakdown of that customer total. That is what determines the half price items that she earns. Okay, so you're going to give that to her and you're going to sit down with her after you fill that out and you're going to explain the half price items. So it kind of explains it for you if you forget, but you can just say you earn 30% of your half price items in free jewelry. So the hostess is going to earn more free jewelry if she wants to purchase anything at half price. Okay, and you can explain that to her. And then you want to talk about when you want to close out the show. Now, Premier likes for us to close out the show between 3 to 5 days after the show. No more than 5 days, because you don't want those guests waiting a really long time. So you can discuss that with her. And you want to go over maybe if you heard her answer the phone when you were getting there and she said, oh, Susie can't make it now, her daughter got sick or whatever. You're going to want to say, hey, do you want to check with Susie and see if she wants to place an order? Or are there any ladies at work that had taken the catalog but hadn't gotten their order to you? Or maybe your sister who lives out of town, and you're going to just write those people's names on there. Or maybe there was someone who wanted to schedule a show and she needs to check with them, or you need to check with them. You're going to put that down at the bottom, so in the section that says don't forget to follow up on. Okay, so then you're going to decide when you're going to close out the show, and then you're going to talk to her about the shipping and tax. You want to make sure that you tell your hostess that she pays $4 shipping, no matter how much free and half price jewelry she gets, and she also pays tax on all of the full retail value of the free jewelry, as well as the half price jewelry that she buys. Okay, so she's going to pay shipping and tax on her items. So you also want to talk to her about how she wants to pay for that. Does she want to pay for a credit card, or does she want to pay with a check? If she wants to pay with a check, one thing you might do is leave a self-addressed stamped envelope with her so she can mail that check to you, so you don't have to go meet her and pick it up. Or if she wants to do a credit card, maybe you send her an invoice. You want to kind of discuss that and see how she wants to take care of that before you leave. Then you want to tell her, okay, Susie, today is Monday. We're going to close out your show on Wednesday. Okay, you've decided that's when you want to close out the show. So you tell her, I need you to go through and look at your free jewelry total. You're going to pick out all that free jewelry up to that price. And then if you still want any more pieces, you're going to email me those as well, because those are going to be your half price items. And all you have to do is just email them to me, and I'm going to figure out the best way to work that for you to get you the best deal on that free and half price jewelry. Okay? And then down at the bottom, you want to have already filled this out, but it talks about how much you made that night. So what you want to do is it says if you were the jeweler tonight, you would have made blank. Okay, so you want to take this total up here, your sales, and divide that by 2, and you're going to put that number right there. And then you're going to divide it by 4, because it generally takes about 4 hours for us to do a show, and that's going to give you your hourly rate. And you want to show that to her. You want to say, you know what, Susie, did you have a good time tonight? Because you know what, I know you had a great time, but did you know that I made $200 hanging out with your girlfriends and eating brownies? Okay, so you really might want to consider, is this something you have been thinking about? And that kind of opens the door that you can talk to her about becoming a jewelry lady. Okay, so you're going to leave this with your hostess to explain to her what her free and half price jewelry is, how to close out your show, and all that kind of good stuff. Okay? All right, so now after you get home and you've left that with your hostess, the next 2 days you want to be entering your customers' orders, following up with them, and you're going to learn more about that in the customer care video. So then you get to that 2-day mark and you want to follow up with your hostess 2 days after her show to see if she needs any help picking out her free and half price jewelry. That way it doesn't get too long before you're actually really closing out that show. Okay? Now, when she emails you her list of jewelry that she wants, there's a couple things that you can do. The first one, you've probably heard us talk about Hidden House a few times. Hidden House is amazing. Hidden House has this little magic button that helps you figure out how to get that free jewelry total as close to zero with those half price items. Okay, so if you choose to get Hidden House, you can enter all of her items under the free on the Hidden House, and then you hit the little magic button that says calculate half price or something like that, and it's going to rearrange everything. It's going to tell you exactly how much she owes, and it makes your life super, super simple. Now, if you don't have Hidden House, that's okay. There is actually an app that you can purchase. You can ask your Premier Mom or your upline about it. It's called the Closing Out Your Show app. And it basically doesn't have everything, all the functions of Hidden House in terms of your reports and taxes and things like that, but it just has that little magic button so it can help you calculate your hostess's jewelry very easily. I think it's about $4.99, and then every time Premier updates the jewelry, you'll have to pay that $4.99 again. So if you're not ready to invest in Hidden House, that's a great little tool that you can get on your phone, on your smartphone, to just make your life a whole lot easier. Okay, if you don't have that app, I'm going to show you how to fill out the hostess receipt. If you don't have Hidden House and you don't have that app, you're simply going to tell your hostess to go ahead and let her pick all the free jewelry that she wants and then decide what half price items she wants as well. Okay, so here's the hostess receipt, and it can be a little bit tricky, so if you don't get it this first time, feel free to watch the video again or ask your Premier Mom, sit down with her, she can go through it with you as well. But up here at the top, it says Hostess Half Price Selections. So you're going to put all of her hostess pieces. It makes it nice and easy because you know that you don't get, you get 4 items if it's if the retail sales are less than $300, and it kind of breaks that down for you. So you're going to put the retail value, and then you're going to put the half price total of each item. So what she's actually going to pay for that piece of jewelry, the half price item, and then you're going to total it up in the section that says A. Okay? Then down here at the bottom, you're going to go back. It says total retail customer orders. Okay? That is that number that is right here. Now, if your hostess gets more orders after the show, then of course that number is going to go up. But that's the number that goes right there in the box, in the little space that says number 1. Then you're in number 2, you're going to put the total hostess half price selections from A. Right there, you're going to fill that in number 2. And the total home show retail sales. So you're adding up her pre-orders, items sold at the show, items sold after the show, and her half price items in that third little box. Then you're going to multiply that by 3. That's going to give her her new jewelry retail or her new jewelry free amount. Okay, so this closing out your show form just really gives her a place to start, so she knows where to start. But hopefully that number is going to go up because she's going to get some more sales. Okay, then you put the number of bonuses that she gets, okay, and add that, and then you're going to total it all up. So that's her total total hostess benefits. Then down in here at the bottom, you're going to fill out all of her items that she wants for free, okay, and you're going to total that up in section B. Then shipping and handling, it's already done for you. It's $4, no matter how much free and half price jewelry she gets. Then you're going to total up A, B, and C. So you're going to total up her half price selections, her free jewelry selections, and shipping. That way you can figure out the tax that she's going to owe on all of that. Now, tax in Leon County is 7.5%, so you're going to take A plus B plus C, and you're going to multiply it by 0.075. Now, if you live in another county, then of course you want to make sure you know what that tax rate is. If you're going to a hostess's show that's outside of the county that you normally live in, you normally do jewelry shows, You want to make sure you know that before you go, so you're charging the customers the correct amount for tax. If you're not sure what the tax rate is, you can go onto Premier's website, go under Jeweler Resources, and I think it's tax forms, but you can find it in there. It'll say tax rate calculator, and you can put in the address of your hostess. It'll tell you what her tax rate is, so that's really helpful. Okay, then you're going to find the subtotal. Okay, so that's the total that she got plus tax. That's your subtotal. And then this can be kind of tricky. This is enter the amount from 6 or B, whichever is less. Okay, 6 is the free jewelry total. So let's say your hostess gets $200 in free jewelry. But let's say she only picks out, right here in B, $197 in free jewelry, okay? Because it's really hard to get it to exactly $200, and that's okay. You don't want to charge her, you don't want to subtract if she didn't use all of that. A lot of times hosts will say, well, can I apply that extra towards the tax? No, you can't do that, okay? So whichever is less, 6 or B, you're going to subtract it, and then that final green box at the bottom is going to give you the total amount due, the total amount that your hostess owes. Again, if you have Hood & House or that Closing Out Your Show app, it's going to do that for you. So I highly recommend getting Hood & House, because right there, that just makes your life a whole lot easier, not having to worry about this hostess receipt. And actually, if you use Hood & House, it can print out a hostess receipt that looks just like this, that you can give to your hostess. You can email it to her, or print it out, mail it to her with a thank you card, that kind of thing. Okay, all right, so let's see. Also, just to let you know about shipping, when you're trying to figure out, let's say your hostess needs her jewelry to a little bit earlier. She needs it quickly, maybe Mother's Day is coming around the corner. In your policies and procedures book on page 15, there's some shipping guidelines, so be sure and read those. It talks about overnight shipping, things like that. Okay, once you have submitted your show, okay, now you've excuse me, you've submitted it to Premier, you're going to want to go back to your jewelry show at a glance, okay? Because once you've submitted it, you want to know how much profit you made, right? You want to know how much free jewelry your hostess got and all of that good stuff. So once you submit that show, you're going to see a screen pop up on Premier where you can print out a receipt. It's going to look just like this. There's also a little button at the top that says at a glance. That's where you can find those numbers that you want to fill in right here, okay? So you're going to want to fill in the home show retail total, okay? What that is all of the customer orders that you had plus all of the hostess's half price items. That gives you your retail total. Then your hostess's free jewelry, how much jewelry does she earn, and then your total CV. Now on page 5 in your policies and procedures book, it talks about your CV, but basically what CV is, it's your commission volume, okay? That is the cost of the jewelry that you're gonna send to Premier. So the 50% that we have to pay for Premier. So let's say you have a $40 item, the CV of that item is $20. Now, if you have a $40 item and let's say you give your hostess a 10% discount, okay, so it's $4 less, so she's going to pay $36, the CV is still $20, okay? So that is the cost of the jewelry right there. Your jeweler fees are going to be your $8 jeweler share plus your $6 your bonus fees as well. So now you know that you can enter that as an expense. Tax, it's going to show right there on that receipt, also the shipping that you paid. And then it's going to show the total that you collected from your customers and the total that you paid to Premier. And when you subtract the total paid to Premier from the total collected, that's going to give you your profit that you earned. Okay? So then the last one is credit card fees. So what you can do is if you use Square or ProPay or any of those type of things, you can go in and print a report for that show, and you can see how much you paid in credit card fees. Okay, and then you can put that down, and now you're going to know your exact net profit from your jewelry show. If you'd like, you can also subtract out maybe if you gave your hostess a free piece of jewelry as a booking bonus or something like that. You can also kind of make yourself a little note there too, and so that you know your true net profit. Okay, so that's really important. All right, so now that you've entered your show and you filled out your jewelry show at a glance, you want to make sure that you've done a few things. Just make sure once you submit the order to Premier, you fill out that form and ran the credit cards, there is a closing out your show checklist that's going to be on the website as well, so you can, it kind of helps you remember all these things that you need to do for each show. The last thing that you want to do that's really smart kind of business practices is pay off your jewelry rewards card. So after each jewelry show, you want to go ahead and pay off your jewelry rewards card, because you don't want to go in your checking account and say, oh my goodness, look, I have $5,000 in my checking account, but you know what? $2,500 of it is owed on your jewelry rewards card. So you want to maintain a debt-free business, and you want to go ahead and pay that off after each show. That's very, very important. Okay, a couple of points just to remember. The first thing, when you're entering your training show with your Premier Mom, you want to make sure that you enter it as a training show and not as a regular show. Okay, because what's going to happen after you submit that as a training show, there's going to be a few questions that pop up. It's called a training show verification form. You want to go ahead and mark and answer all of those questions for your Premier Mom, just letting Premier know that she did a good job in training you. So you're going to want to do that. A couple other things to remember is that a lot of times Premier will offer promotions, whether it's a hostess promotion or a customer promotion. Okay, so let's say this past month of May, Premier gave away the top-notch necklace to all of the hostesses who had a $500 jewelry show. So what's really important is that you hold that show and enter it and submit it to Premier in the month of May. Okay, the accounting period ends the last day of the month at midnight Central Time. So you want to make sure that you get that show submitted before then, because if you try to submit that show on, so let's say June 1st, and you're trying to give that hostess her bonus or those customers their special, their promotions, it's not going to work anymore, okay? And then you're going to end up paying for those things out of pocket. So it's very, very important, if there's a promotion being run, that you hold and submit that show in that month. And really, even if there's not a promotion that's being held, that's still really important that you hold and submit that show within the same month. So if you have a jewelry show that you're holding on the last day of the month, you're going to have to get that hostess's jewelry wish list and close out that show that night. Okay, that's really important. Just a couple things about kind of ethics when you're doing when you're submitting these shows. You only want to put orders on a hostess's show that she actually collected for you. So let's say, you know, another good customer of yours has an outside order. You cannot put it on that hostess's show because she didn't earn that free jewelry. And if we're giving that hostess free jewelry that she didn't earn, really we're taking money out of Premier's pocket. And they're so generous with us with our hostess play. We want to be sure not to do that. So if it's an outside order, make sure you submit it as an individual order, not add it to another jewelry show. Another thing is, if your hostess does not use all of her free jewelry, you cannot use it for yourself, okay? So if she has, you know, $50 left over in free jewelry, that's just $50 that she left on the table. And you should probably want to talk to her about that and encourage her to use it, but you cannot use it for yourself, okay? That's really important. And the same thing with customer specials. Customer specials are only for the customers who earned them, not for you, not for the hostess or anyone else who didn't earn that special. If you have any questions about all this, I know it's a lot of information, but if you have any questions, feel free to contact someone in your upline or leadership, or definitely your Premier Mom, and she can help you with any of this. And I hope this was helpful. Thank you, guys.